It's Gabby Beckford, Gen Z travel influencer, opportunity expert, and host of the Young Travelers podcast. Each week, I share stories of 20-something adventurers that have opted out of the status quo, live life for the plot, and will inspire you to travel while you're young too. In today's episode, we're building off of a conversation we started in a previous episode, how to develop the confidence to travel. And a huge part of your confidence while traveling solo is getting used to being outside of your comfort zone. But that doesn't mean it's not a good idea to choose destinations that make feeling confident easier, especially when you're just starting out. So today I'll give you my list of the 5 safest countries for solo female travelers, in my opinion, to help make your decision easier. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly where you want to take your first solo trip. So let's tap in. Starting off with choosing the destination. There are so many factors that go into choosing a solo travel destination that it can be overwhelming. There's cost, there's time of year, there's weather, there's events, there's landscape. Is your priority views? Is it relaxation? Is it safety? Is it cost? Again, whether you're just starting out with solo travel or not, probably safety is the top of your mind. But the big question becomes then, what makes a destination safe? Disclaimer, choosing a destination is highly personal. It's so dependent to your personal identity, your race, sexuality, gender. All of those things play into your safety anywhere, at home or abroad, right? So maybe 2 people of similar backgrounds could go to the same city and have completely different experiences. That being said, take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I'm going to try my best to share a bit of context on why I chose these destinations from my perspective, experiences, and the other stories I've heard from other young travelers. And I still think by the end of this episode, you'll have a pretty clear idea of what you want out of your first solo trip and where you want to have that experience. Okay, now that the disclaimers are out of the way, let's dig into my 5 safest solo female traveler countries. This is actually the topic of one of my most viral Instagram videos on PAX Lite. If you're not following, tap in. It's never too late. But I'm really excited to be digging in a little bit more in depth right now. So first on the list for me for safe countries to solo female travel in, Dublin, Ireland. Ireland as a whole, really, but I'd say Dublin is the capital city. It's where most people have access to if they're, flying into the country. You probably are going to land in Dublin, and it is a fantastic time. It's super international. You'll meet a bunch of different people, a bunch of different backgrounds, and that's always one of my favorite parts about traveling. But Dublin on its own is a city ripe with solo female traveler safe activities. There are pubs, there are opportunities to meet new friends in parks, and lots of bar crawls and meetups. If you like beer, you're going to have a great time. And even if you don't drink at all, you'll also have a great time. I did an experience called a tea party bus tour is really the only way I can describe it. And I went completely solo. I found it on a third-party activity app like Airbnb Experiences or Get Your Guide or Viator, or any of those, you'll find it. Expedia, any of them. Go on and look for experiences that you might want to have. There are day trips to the cliffs of Moher. There is that tour bus tea party that I did that was so fun. Again, we went all around Dublin. There was a bachelorette party happening there. There was an old couple on a date. There were other young girls just there for the pink kiki of it all. I had a great time alone. It's a great destination for your first solo trip because it is an English-speaking country. If you're worried about language barrier impacting your stress levels or you getting around or you having a good time, it's English-speaking, no big deal. And it ranks top 5 in the Global Peace Index. So really it means around the world, Ireland is one of the safest destinations. And so for the solo female travelers who want to take their first trip, if your parents are worried about letting you go out on the world on your own, you can show them the stats. You'll be totally safe in Ireland. The next place that I think you'll be totally safe as a solo female traveler is Iceland. Coincidence? I think not. Or actually, I do think. But Iceland is where I took my first solo trip ever when I was 17 years old. And so if I could go at 17, being so young, being a woman of color, having Black heritage, you're going to be fine. And I didn't just do it the normal way either. I went and backpacked 40 kilometers in 4 days. And actually, as stressful and as crazy as that was pretty safe too. There's no wildlife in Iceland that can hurt you aside from tiny ponies and sheep. So there's no spiders, there's no snakes, there's no bears. None of that is in Iceland. So I thought that was really cool. I was like, wow, I'm literally very safe. Iceland is ranked number 1 in safety by the Global Peace Index since 2008. So it is technically the safest country in the world. It's also ranked number 1 for gender equality for the past 14 years. So you'll see a lot about women's rights, equality circulating from Iceland, and that's really cool. It's so safe that parents are known to leave their babies outside in unattended strollers outside of restaurants, like parking their asleep baby outside where they go eat dinner. That's how safe it is. And when I had that viral reel and I announced Iceland as one of my top safe countries, 0 people disagreed in the comments. The comment section was blowing up saying, yep, I've been there 3 times. Yep, I love going there solo. Yep, it's expensive, but I've never felt more safe than I did in Iceland. I will say that if you're Black or a person of color, Iceland is not that racially diverse. It is safe in my opinion, but if you're looking to be surrounded by a diverse population that some people look like you and you feel more comfortable and welcome with that experience, you probably won't find it in Iceland. But I do think it's worth going to still. Again, I went and I had a great time. If you're looking to get yourself out of your comfort zone and try something new, Iceland would be the place to experience a very homogenous population. Similar to Japan though, which is also on this list, but we'll get to that soon. Because first I want to talk about Finland. Yep, our 3rd European country. Finland is super, super safe. I've been twice in my life, including in 2024 when I went to experience the Northern Lights. Spoiler alerts, it was so cloudy I didn't get to see them, except from the flight out, which was exciting. So if that's on your bucket list, if you have been wanting to see the Northern Lights all of your life, but your friends keep ditching you, your parents don't want to go, no one else in your life is prioritizing travel, it's probably time to go solo, and I do recommend going to Finland because it is just so safe. The city of Oulu, specifically in northern Finland, is the European capital of culture for 2026, meaning that they did a bunch of voting and a bunch of, legislation stuff and decided that Oulu has a rich, exciting culture that Europe should be proud of and is worth elevating and lifting for tourism reasons. And I went there and I experienced touching a reindeer. They have a frozen people festival, which is like Burning Man, but it's frozen people. It's family friendly. It's cute, but it's really awesome. It's on a frozen lake. They have music, they have food, they have dancing. There was polar bear pitching, which is when people jump into the Arctic frozen tundra underwater and pitch their business for a chance at 10,000 euros. And yeah, that was insane to see. I mean, tons of snow activity. There is snowshoe skiing. There is like long distance skiing, like in the woods. I mean, you can do anything there. And what I loved most about it was, number 1, the food really surprised me. The Lapland, the Arctic food cuisine, really good. And then secondly, how peaceful it is. It's so safe that you can go skiing alone in the woods as a woman at 3 a.m. Nothing will happen to you. 99.9% of the time, nothing will happen to you. It's super, super safe. So, if you go in the winter like I did in February, you're going to have to layer up with some special snow gear because it can get to -20 out there, but it is safe. It is amazing. And it is in my top 5 destinations for solo female travelers. Now it's time to get out of Europe and to Japan, one of the most sought after travel destinations at the top of everyone's bucket list. And if you're a solo traveler especially, you need to keep this on your radar. I lived in Japan from the age of 7 to 10. I have married into Japanese family. I went back to Japan, I think a total of 2 months in the past year I spent in Japan between the southernmost islands of Okinawa and the northernmost territory of Hokkaido and Sapporo City specifically. So I have seen a lot of Japan and I love, love, love it every single time I go. It is a unique experience. It's a lot different from Western culture. And so there might be some culture shock, but is it safe? Absolutely. It is extremely ahead in infrastructure. To get around in the metro system might take you a little bit of language translation, but it is actually pretty easy to figure out. And then it's super safe. It also ranks really high in the Global Peace Index, which means statistically it's one of the safer countries in the whole world. And culturally, Japanese people are super polite. Standard generalization, there's good and bad eggs everywhere, blah, blah, blah. But on a daily basis, people are going to be very courteous, very eager to help, and very kind of intrigued by foreigners, want to talk to you, interested in what you're doing, probably kind of shy. And so I think as opposed to some other countries where people might be coming up to you if they're interested in you and like overwhelming you, it's not going to happen to you in Japan. If anything, you might just struggle a bit with making friends because they do keep to themselves a little bit. But I swear, go out for one karaoke night, one beer with the tour group, and yeah, people loosen up and you're going to find a lot of new friends. The language barrier and the cost of flying out there might be the biggest things that keep young solo travelers from Japan. But if you save up your money and prioritize it and you do get out there, I do know you won't regret it. And the fifth top country on my list of solo travel friendly countries for young travelers or new travelers is Jordan. I know you might be surprised right now. Jordan, the Middle East, is it that safe? Yes, it really is. Number one, Jordan is a melting pot. It is an extremely diverse country that has in the past welcomed refugees, immigrants, travelers of all kinds. And with the diversity of the population, it's hard to kind of stand out as a person of color, especially if you're wearing the local clothes and are being respectful. So I went to Jordan. I feel like I could just blend in, go through the markets if I wanted to. So could you if you have dark skin or if you have really light skin, because there's just such a wide range of what it looks like to be Jordanian. You might be thinking, yeah, okay, Jordan is safe, but like, why would I want to go? If you don't know, Jordan is the country that hosts 3 wonders of the world. Petra, the ancient city, if you've ever seen those photos. Wadi Rum, those photos, those big red desert, people going on 4-wheelers, people on the backs of Jeeps. I on the back of a Jeep. Again, one of my more viral videos is me hanging off the back of a Jeep, going like 80 down a sand dune in Wadi Rum. And the Dead Sea. Extremely religious site. A lot of people go for religious reasons to visit Jordan because it ties into the stories of Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, the Abrahamic religions. It's really interesting. And again, what is safe for solo travelers? I went solo. I had a guide with me the whole time, which I think made me feel better. But even if I didn't, I think I would be very safe. And if you ask anyone who goes to Jordan, they'll also say that it's one of the safer countries they've been to. Another thing that stood out to me from Jordan was that the women are incredible. I visited all women cooking classes, all women owned restaurants. Beit City, if you go to Amman, highly recommend. I met with female volunteers working at Madhaba's archaeological site, preserving Jordan's textile art and history. Just like the women are doing great things and they're welcome to do great things. And of course, Jordan is famous for their world-class hospitality. All across the Middle East, I've seen amazing hospitality. When I studied abroad in Dubai, I was blown away at the service. I was blown away at the welcomeness. People just dragging you in like, come on, have some tea. Like, I just want to welcome you to our country. I need to know more about you. You go to the markets, they're like, where are you from? You know, what do you do? Why are you here? People are just so curious. Jordan might top them all, because people are just so kind, so welcoming. They want to feed you. One of, again, my more viral videos is me saying, dear God, I was scared to come to the Middle East, and rightfully so. Not because it's dangerous, but because they keep overfeeding me. Every meal is gigantic. And that was just the best part I felt as a solo traveler in Jordan, is that it felt like everyone was looking out for me. That's it. Those are my top 5 destinations for solo female travelers. Listing them again, I'd say Ireland, Iceland, Finland, Japan, and Jordan. Dig into those countries. Do your own research. Look them up on YouTube. Look them up on TikTok. Google them for yourself. Read some blog articles and see which country will make you feel most comfortable for your big trip. But I implore you, I beg you, there were countries on this list that I was afraid to go to alone because of reasons I'd seen in the media or reasons I'd seen, from one post one time. Go see for yourself. I was proven so wrong when I studied abroad in Dubai, for example. I was proven so wrong when I went to Jordan alone. I can't tell you enough how many times I've gotten to a country and fallen in love with it and been like, oh my God, they almost stopped me because of fear. Every destination has the potential to bring you a safe, wonderful experience. These especially, I think, statistically and from my own experience, are great places to start. Always trust your gut, always do your research, but at the end of the day, go see for yourself. All right, till next time. So let me know what you think. Are any of these destinations on your bucket list now? If you liked this episode, give me a follow literally wherever you're listening from and drop a review. Please drop a review. It really helps me, but more importantly, it helps the other gonna be traveler adventurers get inspired to take a trip of their own. And if you want to travel but don't know where to start, I got you. Of course, go to paxlight.com for tons of information and resources to get you from traveling one day to day one. P.S. If you enjoy this podcast, you should check out Circa. Circa has podcast guides that cover hundreds of destinations for your next big adventure. Learn more by heading to cercatravel.com. Chat soon.